Hello, hello, welcome to another episode here of our developer stream. I am Tankz0rz. I am the man behind the camera, and we have Mr. Bam. Welcome back,
Hello.
Bam.
The two of us have been in a lot of travel the past couple of weeks. I just came back from Tankfest. You just came back from the Tankfest in Aquino. And wouldn't you know it, you come back and your camera's just refusing to operate today, huh?
It was giving us issues, but that's not going to stop us from having our wonderful stream today. It's nice to be back here and talking all things tank. I know some of you guys are probably missing our beautiful faces here.
Yeah, because we did skip out on last week because both you and I were out of the country.
Right.
Still wrapping up all things Tankfest. Shout out to anyone in the chat right now. Let us know, were you guys there at Tankfest? I had a great opportunity to meet everyone there. A lot of players, especially CCs as well. We had some good chats, etc. And I think Tankz0rz and Aquino, you had a chance to meet with some players as well.
Definitely, and that was I know it was a couple weeks ago, but it was still definitely a lot of fun. Meeting everyone and answering questions and just getting to say hello to the names that I see in chat. So that was definitely a fun, exciting thing.
Putting names to faces for sure.
So, would you like to talk a little bit about your little experience out in Tankfest? How was it?
Yeah. First of all, we always like to talk about the weather, right, Tankz0rz?
Right. Well,
I do have to comment. The weather out in the UK, unbelievable. It was very nice the entire time. I packed for a lot more lighter clothes for the trip. Ending up having to buy a little bit of extra, like lighter shirts and shorts to kind of enjoy the warmer weather that we had out there. I actually got, I think a lot of us got pretty sunburned, at least during the Tankfest as well.
That's sounds about right. I did too when I was out in Kino.
Yeah. But yes, so Tankfest, this was an event that started, I believe it was June 22nd. It went through the weekend. So we, from World of Tanks console, we arrived roughly on like between Tuesday and Thursday ahead of the weekend to do a lot of the preps because we did. Not only were we going to be exploring the Tankfest tank museum grounds, seeing all the tanks, but we did run our own stream for 2.5 hours. So there was a lot of prep work on that front. Plus, Ricky Tikitave, one of our community contributors, we invited him out and he joined us on the development and publishing live ops side and got to really hang out, connect a little bit, and go over some Q&As and talk all things tanks related. So Friday was actually our first day. It was everyone's first day of opening to Tankfest, and it was a great honor and privilege for at least us on the World of Tanks teams to be able to go out there kind of ahead of the lines, and we had a chance to walk around the grounds and even go and see the staging area of all the tanks that they were going to man and drive out into the Kuwait arena field, where they actually do a lot of World War I, World War II, desert combat, and Cold War modern warfare tanks doing kind of their drive around and some small combat reenactments. It was a really fantastic opportunity to kind of get up close to these tanks ahead of the crowds. Because I'll tell you what, the Tank Museum and that entire weekend for Tankfest was sold out. I think they had, KB might be able to correct me on this, I think it was like 12,000 attendees per day, I believe. I mean, it was crowded. Let's see, beyond that, yeah, when the crowds finally kind of poured in there, it was hard to get around and get up close to the tanks. And, we were able to get some clear pictures of the tanks themselves. And I think, Tankz0rz, if you have a few shots you want to share on stream with everybody to show our audience here. KB says 26,000 throughout the entire weekend. Impressive. It was quite the turnout. But yeah, trying to get some of those photo shoots of the tanks themselves. we had that opportunity to get in early because afterwards you had to work your way around all the crowds that were out there, as well as they had the Challenger 2, the Megatron tank, complete with a Decepticon emblem kind of located on its front chassis. That was a really fun find. It's the Challenger 2, and they were actually allowing a lot of people and kids, of course, to climb up on the tank and have an opportunity to, there you have it on screen here. They didn't allow a whole. I think that was the only tank I can recall they actually allowed people to step up on top of, supervised, of course, but still really cool to be kind of up close and personal. And that picture you're seeing on screen right now, you can see there's no crowds around it. We were able to get in there and have our personal time with the tank ahead of the crowds. And then, of course, here's our Chieftain Proto. This was kind of our star of the show tank, and that not only we release in our game, but as well as our colleagues in World of Tanks PC, along with the skin. And the Tank Museum themselves, ahead of the Tank Fest, did the paint job onto their Chieftain Proto themselves. And this is one of the first tanks that you encounter when walking into the Tank Museum grounds. And the TOG, where is our TOG 2 admirers out there? We did get to see this one when walking through the exhibits inside the museum. A splendid surprise. I actually didn't know that the TOG was going to be located in the Tank Museum itself. And I think this photo doesn't do enough justice to its scale. I think we should have thrown like Ricky or KB into the shot, or myself. I guess I could have gotten in there to show you guys just how massive this, like, I think it's like a 70-ton tank that they somehow squeezed into the museum and probably can't get it out anymore.
I'm assuming that sign that says TOG 2 with the little red line is probably like chest height or so?
Roughly, yes.
Right, so, yeah.
The picnic tables around there can probably help a little bit on the scale as well.
That's definitely pretty cool.
And then, of course, the Tiger 131, the last surviving Tiger 1 tank in the world, that also was showcased in the movie Fury. They had that one on display. One of the things I also didn't know about, and Plague, our lead vehicle designer, we did a nice walk through the entire museum. We were getting some up-close looks at the Tiger itself. And you can actually, we don't have an up-close picture available to share on stream, but you can actually see the shell markings of where a shell had scraped the armor off the bottom of the barrel and actually lodge itself kind of into the turret ring, in which caused the disabling of the turret itself when the crew had abandoned the tank. Thus, said tank being captured, and now here we have it at the Tank Museum on display.
That's definitely pretty exciting stuff. That's awesome.
To quote KB here, yes, Plague was very much a kid in the candy store. Not even with the Tiger itself, but all these tanks. Here's another great image. This is the Vehicle Conservation Center. I don't know, that might be like close to 100 tanks that they did a very good job parallel parking butt to butt. From tanks of all different eras, prototype tanks, training tanks. So many awesome things in there that they did allow guests to kind of walk up and down the aisles, but we were also had an opportunity to kind of get this balcony shot, so you can see kind of the breadth collection of all the tanks that they had to showcase there at the museum. Here we go. And this is the staging area where they were prepping a lot of the tanks before they kind of go out for their demonstrations during the show. And I think we have a few more images, including these. So there's like chieftains, they got leopards. They had the Fury tank, of course, was on display in the staging area, and they also had that one driving around. And I'll give another shout out. Ricky Tikitave, if you guys haven't already visited his page, he came away with a lot of content to share from the fest itself, showcasing everything that you're seeing here, a lot of videos of the demonstrations they did in the Kuwait arena, and a walkthrough in the museum with myself, Max Chaos on the live ops side of things, and of course, Plague, our lead vehicle designer, and just kind of commentary as we're going along. Plus, there was also a dog at the show. I don't think we got an image ready to showcase on this one, but if you guys had a chance to catch our stream last week, we did very briefly show. Someone might be able to remind me what his name was, but it was.
Wasn't Rudy, wasn't?
It was not Rudy.
Oh.
But it was. He was fantastic to see on at the show itself.
Awesome.
Ferris, thank you, KB.
It sounds like it was a fantastic time, and you look forward to going back next year. Is that something that you'd like to do?
I really hope so. You know, a huge thank you to Wargaming and our publishing team for help making this possible. Not even just for myself, but for the team itself. We got quite a few people going out there, and our colleagues joined by World of Tanks Blitz and World of Tanks PC were also available at the show. So we got to interface with them, and of course, you know, opening this up and advertising to the players to come on out, join us, and you know, we're there to talk to you guys and play the game with you. You know, I'll also make another special shout out outside of all of us that were able to join from the various wargaming teams. We were visited by many different players, and I had a chance to interface with you guys and talk a little bit of shop on the side. But special shout out, of course, Ricky Tikitave, our special guests that we brought on to Tankfest with us. But Petty, we had a quick chat, as well as Randy Duck, Dave GM. Very briefly, we had a quick stop by. I know both you and I were very busy at that point. Titan Eclipse also made a showing for, I think, one of the days. Marky Meach, and I know I'm missing many more. There was a lot of names and faces to put to these names that I'm starting to forget, so apologies, but it was absolutely fantastic to meet everybody. And I think the last note I'll just kind of make there, we do have a kind of permanent showcase of World of Tanks Modern Armor on console available in the Tank Museum. And we were in a very high traffic area too, where we got a lot of people as they're kind of making their way through the museum. They will be passing by, in fact, through the game station area. Adjacent to us was World Tanks Blitz, where they had a series of tablets that players can hop onto and play the game, as well as World Tanks PC had about maybe 8 or 12 PCs set up on that end. So, but it was really great to see not only those of you on the console audience side coming out, but had a lot of good discussions and conversations with players on World of Tanks Blitz and PC. Caught a lot of PC players' attentions when they we're watching players on our console playing the Cold War tanks. So there was a lot of engaged interest on that. But yeah, overall, fantastic experience. I encourage any tank enthusiasts, World War II, Cold War, combat enthusiasts, like if you have a chance to get out to Bovington, UK, check out the Tank Museum. Such a fantastic experience. And they do hold some shows year round. I think they have like a Tiger event where they actually do take out the Tiger 131 out for some demonstrations in the spring. And then, of course, the big Tank Fest that they hold every June. I did come away with a few souvenirs. Just to kind of share, like I know I'm wearing a Tankfest shirt here. This was a must pick up item on my plates. But the Sherman Fury, I was very happy to see that one on display. So I did pick up a new coffee mug. So you guys, that might make its cameo appearance from stream to stream. But to me, the star of the show, I was very happy to get up close and personal, learn so much more. I bought a Kobe brick 1 to 28th scale of the Tiger 131. Hopefully that's coming up on stream okay for you guys to see. I'm a big fan of the Kobe tanks. This is only my second one that I've collected. It's going to join my collection, my start of a growing collection at the workplace. But shout out who else out there picks up some of these Kobe tanks. They are wonderful. They look awesome. The treads actually do run. You can roll it around. The turret spins. The barrel goes up and down. It's fantastic. And buying it at the Tank Museum did come with its own little Kobe brick placard for the Tiger 131 with the logo of the Tank Museum itself. So, yeah, it was a fantastic weekend, but happy to be home.
That sounds like you had an amazing time, and that tank looks fantastic as well.
Absolutely. I think my next buy will have to be the Sherman Fury. Although again, M1 Abrams is also taking my eye. I believe they Kobe has an Abrams out there.
Oh, heck. Why not get all of them?
Just get them all.
Get them all.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Mr. SPG in the chat. He's got quite the collection as well. We'll have to compare. set up our own little Kobe brick war demonstrations, combat scenarios.
All right. Well, sounds like Tankfest was a lot of fun. But what about stuff that's going on here in World of Tanks?
I nearly forgot. We're back to our usual weekly cadence of weekly assault, World of Tanks Modern Armor updates, right? So let's get back to agenda here. So this week we released the brand new Tier 9 tank destroyer, the AAT-60. In stores, this will be in stores in the bundles until July 31st. If you guys haven't had a chance to check it out. One thing that's very important to note about it, we did identify an issue with the armor on the tank itself. When this tank went live, it turns out one of the components on the side was set up with an incorrect category of armor, in which it was more reflecting what frontal armor would be instead of the side armor. And I think Tankz0rz, we can show a quick example of how this looks in the armor viewer itself. Yep, here we go.
Here from the left side.
Yep, and so that is displaying the accurate armor of the 80 millimeter value.
Correct.
And then on the other side,
if we look at the other side here, we have a 150.
Something clearly different about it. So yes, to my understanding, it was given an incorrect categorization of that. It was applied to feel like a frontal armor plate when it was meant to be a side. Error on our part, corrected, and this fix will be going into the game on Tuesday.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you for sharing.
But yes, on the subject of the AAT-60, we haven't started a giveaway just yet.
Well, that's right. We do those things here, don't we?
We do those things here, yes. It's a jet lag still getting to us a little bit. We forget about our usual curriculum here.
Let's go ahead and drop that giveaway link here. If you'd like a chance to win your very own and shiny
AAT-60.
AAT-60. Go ahead and enter your Wargaming ID, and you'll be eligible for all of our giveaways today.
All right. And then also this week, the 4th of July operation that started earlier on, completing this Freedom Fighter Challenge op here will give you the ability to choose between the T-26E4 Freedom or the Vengeance T-25. So if those are vehicles lacking in your collection, there is a challenge op for you guys to get that chance to earn those tanks yourselves. And this 4th of July operation will be available in-game in the Challenges tab until July 18th. And then going through the weekend, this started only just this morning. We talked about this to an extent during Tankfest. Hopefully you guys all had a chance to check it out yourselves in the live game, but our control mode beta has gone live, our brand new game mode. Not new to video games per se in a lot of shooters. It's very much like a domination that other games kind of are akin to, but we finally have brought it to the World of Tanks Modern Armor audience. And want to stress, and I'm going to say this probably a few times, there is a beta text label on this because this is very much a test. Before I get a little bit more into the details on the control mode, in case you guys haven't checked it out yourselves just yet, or maybe have a little bit unclarity on some of the rules and how it all works, I do want to talk a little bit about this brand new event battle initiative that we are starting on the dev team. So we are introducing a new event battles initiative as part of World of Tanks Modern Armor with the goal to provide us, the dev team, a tool set that can easily curate more event battles more frequently, more diverse and engaging gameplay for the players, to participate more in more scenarios outside of the multiplayer random battles that you guys have already been akin to. The because these event battles will be taking place outside of the multiplayer mode, this does allow us to explore new mechanics, game modes, and other kind of experimental ideas that will not impact the core gameplay experience that you already know and love. All that being the case, if you guys do feel like you're jumping into this, but you want to return to something familiar, that's why we still keep the multiplayer mode available to you. But we want to be able to provide, in addition to all your tank grinding experience and progression, an alternative route for you. And our first beta test of this events battle tool, this is debuting today. This is the control game mode, like I mentioned, and we will be very excited throughout the weekend to hear what your guys' thoughts and feedback are on the mode itself. We are going to be collecting a lot of data because it's, like I said, it is a beta. There's a lot we need to make sure that we are doing right about this mode. Yes, you can earn silver. Yes, you can earn XP. You will be using your tier 8 tanks into this mode itself, and you will be able to continue the progression of it. I have already seen some feedback in regards to kind of the earn rates, etc. Just note, like, this is our first attempt and first test with control mode. We will revisit and kind of tune things as we move along into the future. So control mode right now, if you haven't checked it out, this is a mode that's primarily all about earning points for your team. No longer is it about just eliminating the enemy team and then it's game win or capturing the base. The game mode will continue if you destroy all the tanks or you capture a base. Anytime you destroy a tank, you will earn 50 points for your team. When you capture a base, you will receive 3 points per 2 seconds, I believe. I may have to double check the data on that, but you'll get 3 points every couple of seconds, and the first team to reach 1,000 points will win the match. Respawn is enabled as part of this mode, so just to kind of keep the action going, when you get knocked out, there will be a small redeployment countdown period, about like 10 seconds, and you'll be right back into the match and try to steal back the captured bases from your enemies. So for this weekend, again, this control mode is only going to be running up until next Tuesday's updates. It will be World War II, Tier 8. It's 7 versus 7. And we have restricted artillery. There will not be any artillery class able to join for this round. Might be something we think about in the future, but we deemed that class did not fit well for what we are trying to go forward with on the control mode itself. No nation restrictions, and the map list is pretty restricted right now. You will only encounter Overlord, Airfield, Himmelsdorf, and Mines. Now, we do have more that might be coming out in the future, but right now we want to make sure we get kind of the small selection of maps out there, get you guys playing it, and need to see, how is the balance of these maps? Do we need to make some adjustments? And not only did we pick maps to have a fair diverse set of gameplay just in their general layout, but we also played around with different quantity of bases that you can capture. Most of the maps will have two encounter bases for you to go out and capture, but Himmelsdorf we tried with just a singular base. Might be a little bit more chaotic, but we wanted to see how well is that received and does it create any sort of unfair balances. Again, could change in the future at some point. And then we also tried in the Mines map a more asymmetrical approach to the bases, where one base is a little bit closer to one team's spawn and the other base is closer to the other team, as opposed to, say, Overlord and Airfield, where there's kind of a symmetrical set for the bases themselves, very down the center line, equally distributed between both of the spawns. Let's see. So some of the questions you guys might have on your minds, though, does this mode count toward completing season challenges or other challenge quests? Right now, it does not. Again, this is a beta test. We wanted to make sure that we couldn't anticipate how much players might engage and really be able to leverage this mode for completing a lot of the challenges. We haven't done enough testing to see if it makes sense to allow it to count toward challenges. That very well could change in the future. We are actively talking about it with the events teams to see about allowing season challenges and other random challenges to be applicable into the control mode itself. Same goes towards stats. Don't worry about your win rate, your accuracy, your MOE, damage standing. None of that is impacted in the control mode. It is a beta. It is very much an events battle. So all of that is not going to be accounted for in the control mode. The one last thing I'll say on the control mode itself, I want to stress that we are coupling this to be part of many upcoming limited event battle releases. Right now, there's no plans of making this kind of a permanent alternative game mode for players to check out. The long-term plan is that this comes up over the course of any given season and gives you guys like a weekend, perhaps even a week-long opportunity to engage in a new game mode on various different maps and various different tiers as well. This weekend is Tier 8 in World War II only, but that's not to say that will remain the same the next time we try it. So, yes, hopefully you guys, again, get out there. It's live now. Control Game Mode Beta. You'll see it in the Game Modes menu. We will be keeping an eye on our Discord and our socials, of course, looking for all feedback, seeing what you guys think on it, and we'll continue to develop and refine it as we move along into the future. All right.
Exciting stuff.
All right.
What else we got here?
Oh, I'm sorry?
So what else do we got here, Mr. Bam?
Well, that's a wrap-up of kind of our content offerings and our new game mode for this week. Lots to talk about coming for next week. This is a pretty packed stream of things to talk about. Before we move on, let's announce our winner for the AAT-60 Tank Destroyer. Do we have a winner picked out?
Let us get our first magical winner here.
Magical winner. Ooh,
uh-huh.
We've upgraded them.
Oh, they're magical now. All right. And our first winner is B-Text Press 77. Congratulations.
B-Text Press?
B-Text, T-E-X.
Text. Congratulations.
Dropping your name in chat. Congrats. You are our first lucky winner here.
For our AAT-60.
And they'll be receiving the wonderful AAT-60, which you could see on screen right now.
Fantastic. Well, someone just called it out in the chat here. Fordrian 9704. French tanks, please.
Oh.
Guess what is coming next week, Tankz0rz?
Is it French tanks?
Maybe.
we need a little bit more context. What kind of French tanks are we talking about?
So we announced this and showcased a lot of imagery and talks played when he joined me at Tankfest. And yes, finally coming on Tuesday, our release of the French Cold War tech tree line. And this will include here we go. We got an image here on screen. The Lorraine 40 tons, the Batchat 25 ton, the AMX-30 one prototype, AMX-30B, the AMX-30B2, AMX-30B2 Brennus, another AMX-32, and then the AMX-40, and lastly, the Leclerc. A very popular one. Players have been asking for this one for quite a while. I've seen it coming up on stream time and time again, and I think we got a few images we can show for the Leclerc. A lot of these tanks also come equipped with their secondary weapons for just a high rate of fire. Put those 4rads in their place a little bit, maybe. Here we go. There's a Leclerc on screen now. So hopefully for our Cold War audience here, if you guys were looking forward to a new tech tree line to grind, again, coming this Tuesday, the French Cold War line tanks are here to stay in World of Tanks Modern Armor. Enjoy the new grind.
Does look like a very, I don't know. I like these type of designs for these tanks. They look very sturdy, you know?
Very sturdy, yes.
Yeah. I'm a fan of the sturdy tanks, if you haven't noticed.
But that's not all. You guys have been probably pointing out, what the heck is that picture behind me? What is that tank going on back there? The release of the Char MLE 75 Fraternity. This is a tier 9 light tank, coming with great mobility, 2 drive modes, the standard and of course turbo drive mode. This would allow it to reach capable speeds of 75 kilometers per hour. And as you can see here on the image displayed, comes with a fantastic French-inspired design paint job, right in time for Bastille Day. Perfect for those who wish to show a little bit of their national pride. This does also come with a 6-round autoloader, perfect for picking off vehicles for a little bit more of an aggressive light tank playstyle, and pairs well with the mobility to perform maneuvers very much such as the Circle Strafe of Death. And this is something that we try a little sometimes in regards to our auto reloaders and auto loaders, but we did again apply an additional burst fire gun option. And this gun has 2 3-round bursts before you have to reload. So you just want to make sure to keep an eye on your gun, keep your gun on your target to land all 3 rounds of its burst, just to make the most of that gun option. So this tank is also coming on Tuesday. Hopefully this is another one you guys have been anticipating a little bit. And let's kick it off with another giveaway, Tankz0rz. One lucky winner here for the chance to win the Fraternity.
Alrighty, let's run it back. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and enter into our giveaway link here. Give us your Wargaming ID, and if you already did so earlier, you're all set.
All set. Okay, also next week. So I don't know if you had a chance to play control mode, Tankz0rz, just yet, or if you had a chance to watch any streamers. I did lurk a little bit in the background. Ricky Tikitave went live, and he had a chance to check out the control mode, as did Slap-A-Fish, some of our CCs. And a question kept coming up to them, like, this is fun, it's great, that's World War II, tier 8's fine, but they'd be very curious to see if this was coming to Cold War. Next week, guys, next weekend, more rather, yes, control mode will be back again for round 2, and this time with a focus of Cold War. It's going to play out the very same way as it is this weekend, same rule sets, except specific to Cold War Era 2. And for tank types, we are limiting it to lights, mediums, and heavies only. And the maps, it will include Overlord and Himmelsdorf, same 2 maps that we have this week, but we are also throwing into the mix Ghost Town and Heilbronn. And these maps will also have different variations of their layouts of the bases themselves. As noted before, as what we're doing for this week of the control mode, we will continue to monitor feedback as well as the data balance, making sure the next time we try to look into another control mode release, maybe in a later season, might see some subtle differences, different maps. But yes, we need to collect some data. This is still very much a beta test, even when we go into Cold War mode. So yes, if you guys are Cold War players and you felt like you were missing out on the control mode, we haven't forgotten about you. It will be coming next week. So please, 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 please look forward to it. Give us your feedback, and let's help work together to deliver this game mode to some sort of final, great polished state in a future season to come. The time frame for that one will be starting, as I said, July 14th, 10 a.m. UTC, and will be coming down July 17th, just before 10 a.m. UTC.
See a comment here saying we need a Tankz0rz commander with complete with comments.
Wait, what was that? We need
Oh,
Tankz0rz commander.
Yeah,
complete
someone was
comments.
just asking for a commander of me. That's funny.
I think you do well to have your own VO into the game.
One of my favorite lines is was that when you shoot and you bounce and it's just like, we're shooting spitballs. I think I have to say that.
We're firing spitballs.
Yeah. Sounds great. So we're having round 2 of this control mode beta where it's going to be Cold War, you say, right? So
Correct.
that's great.
The T-Bear. My whole room shudders when Tankz0rz speaks. The bass. Okay. I think we're ready to move on to our battle feats segment. Are we ready to roll here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And as usual, everyone that we call out in our battle feats will be receiving confidential key cards as kind of a thank you for your dedication and your hard-earned efforts that you've played in these tanks in just the past couple days, couple weeks. So starting off in the SMV CC64 Vipera, we have two users here, Astreus and Blue Veins. And that's Blue Veins with a Z at the end, because that's important. 9 kills performed in the Vipera in a single battle. Congrats to you both. Also in the Vipera, here we have Rogue Force 2, max damage done in a single battle of 6,184. And lastly, Krasny, max blocked damage in a single battle of 9,225. Fantastic. Up next, our Tankfest star, the FE4201 Chieftain Proto. We got a few users here that made some excellent achievements. The Bisat0731 and Vlad Andres 66 with a max kills in a single battle of 8. Then we have Ascetic Streak 0, max damage dealt in a single battle of 9,722. And then Smighead with max combined damage in a single battle of 6,349. And lastly, again in the Chieftain Proto, Pixel GM 86, max blocked damage in a single battle, 8,450. And our last one here, our newly debuted Cold War tank, the M3A1 Bradley. This is the premium tank, not the tech tree version of the M3A2. We have Lete Wrath with max kills of 9 in a single battle. Stitch 1933, max damage dealt in a single battle of 15,339. That's fantastic. Really leveraging those ATGMs there. And then ERR Showtime, max combined damage, 8,043 dealt in a single battle. Oh, and then we also have a few people who have marked the M3A1 Bradley already. Congratulations, Outlaw Dipping 7 and ERR Showtime once again. Congrats to you two for your 4 marks on the M3A1 Bradley. Show those one off with some pride. And then a couple of medal showcases here. We have the Sniper Medal, which is awarded to users who achieve at least 85% of the hits out of a minimum of 10 fired with potential damage dealt of 1,000 HP or more. And these users who achieved the Sniper Medal includes Nonina 4094, which received this 13 times in the M3A1 Bradley. Up next, we have Lord Tintafaz, who achieved this 10 times in the Vipera. And lastly, Ecstatic Streak 0 got this 26 times in the Chieftain Proto. Congrats to you few. And to wrap this up, of course, our milestones, users who crested amazing feats and numbers of battles here. We have quite a few users this past week who have reached that amazing 100,000th battle threshold, starting off with Slick Walrus, Willie Blackhawk, Armchair Tuba, and Figawi, X-Daddy X79, and Mike Stenner 64. Congrats to you all, and thanks for sticking around. Then we had a few more at 110,000. Darkstream and Ovi 8341. At 130,000 battles, Kudel 185. 140,000 battles. We got 2 users here, the Big G Bo and Lemmy, with a series of numbers after that. And lastly, almost reaching that 200,000th battle threshold. Hopefully, we'll make a call out for this individual in a few more months here, maybe next year. 190,000 battles. Still impressive nonetheless. Ponygiro555, congrats to you. Here's to 10,000 more battles to hit that 200,000 in the very near future. Fantastic.
By next year, challenge accepted. They're gonna knock it out of the park by next month. You just wait.
That's what I'm curious about. May have to look them up and just see how many battles do they accomplish on a monthly basis. Fantastic. And as mentioned before, all of the users, we will be sending you guys confidential keycards directly to your accounts.
And as always,
that's a lot of battles.
A lot of battles.
I was so out of sync with you. I apologize.
That is a lot of battles. Congratulations to everyone, and you'll be getting your confidential keycards. So they will appear auto-magically.
Auto-magically.
Mm-hmm.
Auto-magically, like our magic winners, right?
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. What does that leave us to?
That takes us to our Q&As.
Q&A time.
So we mentioned this before, and I do want to stress again, sometimes I'll try to catch questions that grab my attention in the stream chat as itself, but we no longer kind of collate and collect the questions as they come through and answer them on the fly. We do send out a form in which you, the players, can submit your questions. As a matter of fact, can I ask KB or Tankz0rz, if you guys are able to, if we can forward that link if players have questions that they want to send for next week, submit it to this form. We will go through it on the development team and try to provide some more meaningful answers. This is to help kind of avoid a lot of the same repeat questions that we seem to get from time and time again, and try to give you guys a bit more meat on the bone to the answers for the questions that you send us. And because we had a week off coming back from Tankfest and Kino, we did dig a little bit into the backlog of questions that got left behind, but also still scraping some new ones that did come through. So I think we're good to roll with these set of questions. And then next week, of course, we'll have a fresh slate of questions that we will go through.
Sounds fantastic. And then just as a reminder here, we are running a giveaway, right, for our fraternity.
Our fraternity, yes, that is still going. We'll call out the winner for that one maybe when we wrap up the questions here and start to close on the stream.
Sounds great. All right, first question here, Mr. Bam, are you ready? Will the premium tanks that have been withdrawn ever return?
So this was an effort we've done for a lot of the World War II Tech Tree premiums that, yes, we have been dialing them back. That process is complete, and whatever premium tanks are available for purchase there are the ones that will still remain to be purchasable. Otherwise, all the other premium tanks, those are things that we start to collect and make it part of offerings in certain store bundles with better discounts, as well as a lot of certain season challenges that might crop up. But if you're also asking about like certain tier 2 and tier 3 premiums, I know some players keep asking for those to make a comeback in some way. Those, again, will only be provided via some sort of special event or in-store bundle. We do call these the From the Vault bundles of kind of our retired tier tanks, retired tank tier premiums. So not forever gone, but you won't see them returning to the tech tree to purchase directly from there. Again, from either From the Vault bundles or maybe from certain challenge events that we set up in the future.
All right. Next question here. How is the Nemesis looking with the gun improvements made? And are there any considerations in increasing its armor profile? Maybe even its health pool? It doesn't need to be exactly like a E100 armor, but maybe some adjustments may be in line here.
Gotcha. So I may have dug this one from a further back backlog question. So apologies on that part. This is in regards to the Nemesis Warhammer license tank that we had. So we did apply some buffs to the tank with the improvements. It was previously at a win rate of 47.9%. With those improvements, We've also changed the damage from a 1768 that has improved upward to a 2150, and a penetration percent value from a 51 to a 56%. So this was a noticeable impact on the vehicle performance and is in a much better place now. And this is, like all tanks, we continue to keep an eye, and we'll do further review once we have much more data. We're well over a month since that tank's been released into the wild, so that's kind of where we are at right now.
Next question here is about the next sell discount premium days. When are we going to sell premium days at a discount?
For actual premium time, the big discounts on these, where you can get like the 180 days or the full 360 days, are typically reserved for a lot of our big events such as Black Friday, Tanksmas, our game anniversary, etc. You will find some premium discounts from time to time as the seasons go on, but if you were looking forward to some of those big quantity days discounts, look forward to those on the bigger holiday events.
Next question, will the option to customize crews like before make its return anytime soon?
We still have support for commander customization. For the most, you can change their name and even some of their voices as well. For select 3D commanders, I know it's a small selection, but we do have this. You can change their appearance with just kind of a different outfit. This is something that we slowly roll out at the same time developing like newer 3D commanders as well. So if you're asking for any different customization, like actual like accessory customization, that specifically is not on the plan, but that's as far as we'll be doing any sort of customization support on the commanders.
Next question, why is it so difficult to earn the last 3 out of the 9 commander skills? Do we have any plans to reduce the amount of commander XP needed to fully research the 9 skills?
Well, our goal with the commander system was to allow players to earn the first several skills much faster than the old crew system had even allowed. And to have those skills be far more meaningful as well. We did a lot of different changes and buffs to the crew skills just to make them a lot more impactful. But you are right that the last couple of skills, in particular, the final skill slot, does take a lot more XP to unlock and earn. As we wanted to still preserve that feeling of a challenge and accomplishment by maxing out a commander. And it's also worth mentioning that all commanders now do come with at least one skill unlocked by default. And said skill is unlocked with its full potency the moment you pick them out, making these skills that much more powerful. If you guys might recall, our old crew system, even by the point that you were able to choose a new skill, you still had to continue to grind your crew XP to make that skill more impactful in the matches. Now it's just once you have enough to select said skill, you are ready to just take that out into the game and you have it at its full capacity. Let's see. But also, when you look and consider that your commanders are no longer nation locked as the crews were before, this does allow you to transfer your skill and unlock progress between your commanders. So to make it more clear that we wanted to make a system that finds a fair balance between giving players a rewarding challenge, a lot more agency and choice, and making a system where meaningful progression can be earned fairly quickly.
Next question is, can we modify a commander skill set for 10 gold per perk instead of the full cost if you only want to change one perk?
Right. Yeah, because right now you have to do a full kind of respec on all the crew skills right now for a solid price. Yes, we do have a ticket to investigate. There will be some changes coming in the future. So yes, we are exploring changes to the purchasing of the commander's crew skills.
Somewhat in line here with crews, will we be able to recruit 2D commanders from their respective nations again?
No, we don't have plans to re-enable 2D commanders on the recruitment menu. We do still sell 2D commanders, mostly available in a lot of our keycard offerings, or maybe through some store bundles or special other challenge events. But for the most part, the recruitment page is more dedicated to the 3D commanders.
Next question is it possible to have a free fly cam mode in the garage?
That's actually a very fun suggestion. Because I imagine players would love the idea to kind of see in and out the details of their tanks without just being kind of restricted to the orbit camera a little bit, and seeing maybe more details scattered around the garage. Problem is, in the current version of the garage, a lot of the assets that you see outside of your orbit camera view was not designed to be viewed from like all angles. Some of the quality, well, I shouldn't say the quality, the textures on it are not high res enough to be viewed from certain angles. They're meant to kind of be more back filler assets over there. But what I will say is the idea of having some sort of free fly camera in the garage, I'm not saying no to it, but we are actively thinking and talking about something that might excite players in the future. But more news to come on that at a later time.
Sounds great. Yeah, definitely be nice to get up in the nitty gritty there and seeing all the nuts and bolts for your tank.
By the way, I'm seeing yes, Comrade Cobra and Polma Burgle, you did see a cattail. I had to move my Tiger 131 Kobe tank because my cat got very interested in it and was starting to chew away on the barrel.
All right. Next question here is: Are the Primo Victoria and Girls and Panzer going to be available in the shop anytime soon?
Same answer I'll give for a lot of our licensed content. Hard to say, we can't give specific dates. This is all conversations that we need to have with the IP holders if we can get the licensing to resell them. What I will say is when we can sell them and have permissions to do so, you will hear it from us first before we are able just to say, yeah, we're going to do it. So never say never. It's just something that we have to have that conversation with them first.
Sounds great. What tank line will be the next on-track event, and when will it return?
Well, we don't currently have regular on-track events quite anymore, as they've been more or less replaced with much more newer challenges that have been running instead. And players have been responding to those new challenges fairly well. You may see an on-track pop up on occasion to certain events or holidays, though. They're not completely gone. We just kind of keep them a little bit more restricted to certain events.
Next question. When will the Tier 2 tanks like the Hornet, Fox, and Viper be available again?
This goes very similar to the question above, asking about some of the retired premium tanks.
Mm-hmm.
This is part of our From the Vault bundles, and generally we might re-debut those bundles and tanks during our Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Tanksmith game anniversary sales. So gonna have to wait a little bit longer on that one.
Definitely keep your eyes out during those times. Let's see.
Can I do a quick shout out here?
Yes.
Tankz0rz, I see you out there. We were talking a little bit about Tankfest. We'll see. We'll see if Wargaming is making a second round attendance next year. But I did get a chance to meet Tankz0rz at Tankfest as well. So thank you for tuning in, sir.
Let's see. Next question here. Can we please get an FPS counter and ping times in MS in live battles and in Garage rather than the little connection bars on the top?
We actually discussed this exact topic during Tankfest. Ricky actually presented it to us during our Q&As. Yes, I have an active ticket on this. This is just a matter right now of talking with production, seeing if they agree and want to move forward on this sort of direction. In our internal testing, we already have our ping and FPS information kind of presented on our HUD display. So it'd be a very easy inclusion to turn on. It's just a bit of a conversation to see do we want to pursue with this? So we'll come back with more on that topic in the future.
Sounds great. Next question: will control mode support 15 versus 15 in the future?
No. So for multiple reasons. One, let's talk about the respawn in our map sizes. Respawn with a 15v15 format can easily lead to very chaotic sort of matches. And it felt a lot better having a 7v7. You still get that kind of adrenaline rush and that sense of going into a brawl and a combat. Just having a 14-player match. Just Respawn keeps that engagement constantly going. The gameplay would just be a bit too chaotic, and we would deem that just completely it would not be fun, to be quite clear. The second reason behind it, though, is we continue to take precaution when we introduce new game modes or event modes that continue to divide the matchmaker up a little bit, because we do have World War II, we have Cold War. You can choose between playing multiplayer, co-op, custom games. These are all avenues that a lot of players can dive into. And so introducing control mode that can host a full 30 set of players, that is asking for that many players to fill into the queue and make full matches. I mean, I can almost guarantee that would make more bot matches happening in the game, which not always the best experience, because those are things that we want more favored in the co-op experience, not always in the multiplayer or event modes.
Right. Let's see. Is your kitty giving you trouble over there?
He's making noises. He's rambunctious.
Two more questions here before we announce our winners. I think you touched on this earlier, but can XP and silver in control, or can you earn XP and silver in control mode and doesn't count towards challenges?
Yes and no. Yeah, we did cover this one in the notes. You can earn XP and silver. You can apply that to your tanks that you are grinding and progressing through in tier 8s. So absolutely yes on that. Right now, it does not apply to challenges and contracts. Again, we just want to be data informed and make sure that this is the right course going forward. This is very much a beta test. Could very well change in the near future, and we may allow challenges, contracts, etc. to be applicable in control game mode.
Alrighty. And our final question here is, you already announced this too, but Cold War control mode when?
Next Friday.
All right.
Era 2.
I heard it here first, boys. And that leaves us to our active giveaway here.
For the Fraternite.
Alrighty. You ready for our winner?
I'm ready.
You can give us a little drum roll. And
Where's
our
my
winner.
cat? My cat can do a good drum roll.
Oh no. And our winner is, oh Jesus. Slipper SRVC. Congratulations. I know I butchered your name, but I'll type it into chat. So congratulations.
Slipsiver. Yeah, I've seen him quite a few times. Congratulations.
You are a lucky winner, and you will be getting our fantastic new French tank, the Fraternity. So, and just like the other awards here, they'll be added auto-magically as you are our magic winner today.
Awesome. I think that is a wrap for our stream today. We covered quite a lot, and I hope you guys enjoyed hearing the news about the Tankfest. Again, it was such an exciting time. I'll thank Wargaming and Publishing for their efforts of having everyone come out there that way, meet with the players, and be joined by our colleagues on World Tanks PC and Blitz. And I'll give one more shout out to Ricky Tiki-Tave. If you guys want to see more content and see footage of the tanks themselves and some of the insights from us, the developers, as he had a lot of talk time and walking around the museum himself with Plague, check out Ricky Tiki-Tave's channel. A lot of great content for all things Tankfest and more.
All right, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today. We'll be back here next week. You could also join on Tuesday, and you'll see our lovely community manager, T-Kane, and his regularly scheduled stream. For everyone else, if you're watching on YouTube, have a great and fantastic weekend. If you're watching on Twitch, stick around. We're going to go ahead and rate one of our community contributors. Thank you very much, everyone, and you all have a fantastic weekend.
Thank you all. See you all on the battlefield.
See you on the battlefield.